Hi, I'm Joe Cunningham with the Best of the West and Huskemaw Optics. Today what I'm going to cover is the simplicity it takes to collect the data on your new Huskemaw Scope. A couple of things you're going to need, which comes with the scope, is a small flathead screwdriver for adjusting our zero stop and setting our zero stop. Another thing is a coin of any type, a dime, a nickel, a quarter, doesn't matter, so we can loosen and tighten the top screw on our turret system. So here we go. This is the simple steps it takes to collect our data. First thing we're going to do when we're out on the range is we're going to write down the elevation we're at, the temperature it is, and an estimated muzzle velocity. Very simple. The next step we're going to take is establishing a zero for your gun. That zero can be whatever you want it to be. You can have a 100-yard zero, you can have a 200-yard zero, or a 300-yard zero. It's up to each individual, whatever they particularly want. For ourselves, what we do here at the Best of the West is we establish 200-yard zeros. The first step is we're going to establish our 200-yard zero. So when shooting, if you're low, we're going to come up a couple. All we're worried about is elevation purposes right now. After I've established my 200-yard zero, the next step I'm going to do is set my zero stop. Very simple. This is my zero stop down here, okay? I am going to screw this up to come snug with the bottom of my turret. Once it comes snug with the bottom of my turret, I'm going to back it off one complete hash mark, which you can see right here on the scope. Once I've backed it off one hash mark, I'm going to tighten it up right here so that zero stop is snug. Now what I do is I'm just going to loosen this top screw and I'm going to take it off just like that. I'm going to pull this data collecting turret off, find the zero, and I'm going to set it right on the hash mark. Now I know that my 200-yard zero is established and I'm on zero. Pretty simple. Tighten that down. And now I'm ready to shoot my mid-range and long range, okay? For just elevation purposes of the bullet is all we're worried about here. Not windage, left or right, by any means. So let's say my mid-range is going to be 400 yards. My long range is going to be 800 yards. So I find my 400-yard target. I dial up a certain number of clicks. I shoot. If I'm high or low, I make an adjustment. 1 or 2 clicks low, I come up 2 clicks. The elevation purpose of my bullet now, I've made some 2 shots, it's perfect. So now what I do is I write down the number of clicks it took to get to that mid-range target. So let's say, for instance, it was 15 clicks to 400 yards. So I write down 15 clicks at 400 yards, perfect. Now I do my long-range target, which today is going to be 800 yards. At 800 yards, I dial up a certain number of clicks. I'm just say, for instance, I'm low. So I'm going to come up 2 or 3 clicks, I shoot again, and I'm perfect. Elevation's right where I need it to be, and I'm going to write down the number of clicks it took from there. So from my 0 to my 800 yards, it's 50 clicks. So I write down 50 clicks at 800 yards. Once I've established my mid-range and long range, after I get done doing that and everything is good, I'm going to go back to my zero on my data collecting turret, and that way I know. Now, once you've done that, you go back, you call us at the office, you're going to talk to Shane or Jim, you give them the data that you just collected, and within a week to 10 days, this is going to come in the mail, and it's your new custom turret just for your Huskemaw Scope. Once that comes in the mail, all I've got to do is take this turret off, the data collecting turret, and you know once you've established your 200-yard zero, this particular turret comes in the mail, we're going to get on our 200-yard zero, which you established when you collect your data, slide it right down on the hash mark, tighten your top screw down, and you're ready to go long range shooting.